Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 4.4 Extra Practice. Remember to show all your steps. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Remember, the first thing that we always want to check is GCF. Okay, so let's take a look at the poster, or what Ms. Carranza wrote on the board. Remember, factoring GCF first. Okay, so is there a GCF between all of these guys? And the answer, yeah. I can take out a 5 from everything. So the 5 comes out first, and then we have n squared minus 6n plus 8 equal to 0. Okay, so when solving, I have to do all of my factoring off to the side. So we have n squared plus 6n plus 8. So you need to think what numbers multiply to get to 8 and add to get to negative 6. So we got 1 and 8, 2 and 4. The only combination that works is going to be 2 and 4, except they both have to be negative. So as I'm splitting that middle term, the n squared minus 2n minus 4n plus 8. We draw the line down the center, and I need to take the GCF of both groups. Okay, the n comes out front, and I'm left with n minus 2. Once again, the negative 4 comes out front, and I'm left with n minus 2. And then my two binomials are n minus 2 and n minus 4. So this right here, I'm going to use a different color real quick, is what we bring back over to here. Okay, so that 5 stays out front, and then I've got n minus 2, n minus 4 equal to 0, and anything with a variable is what I can set equal to 0. And then we solve. I would add 2 to both sides to get n equals 2, add 4 to both sides to get n equals 4, and then I would put my final answer in order from least to greatest. So n equals 2 and 4. Okay. So number 2, once again, the first thing that we check, GCF. Okay. So is there a GCF between the 5m squared and the negative 4? And the answer, yeah. I can take out an m. So my m would come out front, and I'm left with 5m minus 4 equal to 0. Well, guess what? I'm completely factored right now. Yeah, so all I have to do is set everything with a variable equal to 0. Well, the m equals 0, that's already done. So for here, I would add the 4 to the other side and then divide by 5. And then the last step would be to put my two answers in order from least to greatest. Okay, I'm doing this solving a little bit faster only because you've been solving for a very long time. Okay, you guys should be used to that by now. All right, number 3. I need to look at my leading coefficients, and I'm going to move the smaller one. So I'm subtracting 3x squared. I'm subtracting 13. Everything on the left cancels, and I'm left with 0 equals 2x squared minus, off the top of my head, it's early, I'm tired, negative 85 minus 13. What'd you guys get? Negative 98. Okay. GCF. Okay, factor out the 2. We're left with the GCF out front, x squared minus 49. Okay, so we took out the GCF. Now, is it the difference of two squares? Difference meaning subtraction. We talked about this a couple days ago, and it is. So we would take the square root of both. We got 0 equals, the 2 is still there. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 49 is 7. And then 1's a plus and 1's a minus. Okay? And then we have to solve. So everything with a variable gets set equal to 0. And we get that x equals negative 7 and x equals a positive 7. So my final answer, putting it in order, negative 7 or positive 7. Now we did talk about this before. Some people will write plus or minus 7, and those two mean the same thing. Okay. All right. Number 5, the first thing I'm looking for is my leading coefficient. I want to make sure that it's positive, and it is, so that means I need to move everything on the right side to the left side. Everything on the right side equals 0, and we're left with 5y squared. A negative 3 plus 23 is a positive 20y, and then 8 plus 7 is 15. Okay, so there's a GCF. We take out the GCF first. Here's my 5, and then I'm left with y squared plus 4y plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so this is what I'm going to take over to the other side and factor. Numbers that multiply to get to 3 and add to get to 4. There's only two numbers that multiply to get to 3, and that's 1 and 3. So we get y squared plus 1y plus 3y plus 3. We're splitting that middle term. Take the GCF out of both. Y comes out front, the 3 will come out front, and I'm left with y plus 1 and y plus 1. So we've got y plus 1, and my other binomial is y plus 3. So all this side work is my next step right here, okay? That 5 comes down, and then y plus 1, y plus 3 equals 0. Since we have that equal sign, guys, that's why we have to solve. I have to know what the variables are. So we get that y equals negative 1 and y equals negative 3. When I write my final answer, I put them in order from least to greatest. All right, number 5. Let's see if you can get everything over to one side, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so you should have gotten a squared plus 3a minus 28. There's no GCF, so this is what I'm going to come over and bring to the other side. And I'm looking for numbers that multiply to negative 28 and add to get to positive 3. And if you can't think about that, write down all of the factors. 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7. Okay? So I want you to factor that. You'll get your answer, and then you'll bring it over here. Okay? So go ahead and pause that video, and good luck. Okay, so you should have gotten a minus 4 and a plus 7 as your two binomials. And then the last step, we're going to solve everything that has a variable, okay? So a equals 4 and a equals negative 7. So we get our final answer, putting them in numerical order. Oh, that's not supposed to be gray. It's supposed to be blue. Sorry. All right. Number 6. So we look at our leading coefficients, and we're going to move the smaller one, which is that 4. Okay? So I'm going to add the 4n squared over. I'm going to add the 1, and remember that 1 doesn't have any like terms over there. So we get 10n squared minus 7n plus 1 equal to 0. Okay? Remember, always check for GCF first, and there's no GCF. Okay? So I've got to take this guy over and do a little side work. 10n squared minus 7n plus 1. Okay? We're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 10 and add to get to negative 7. Okay, 1 and 10, 2 and 5. So we're going to do the same thing. You factor all of that, and then we will solve it together. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so you should have gotten 5n minus 1 and 2n minus 1. Remember, everything with a variable, we're going to set equal to 0. We add 1 to the other side and divide by 5. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to add 1 to both sides and divide by 2. Okay? And then I'm going to put my answer in order from least to greatest. All right, number 7. Find your leading coefficient. And then I'm going to move everything else to the other side. And just like that last one, that 25 does not have anywhere to go. So we got 10w squared minus 45w minus 25. So the one thing that should be stepping out here right now is that there is a GCF, okay? I'm gonna move this over here a little bit so we have a little bit more room. We can take a GCF of 5 out, and then we're left with 2w squared minus 9w minus 5, okay? So this makes it just a little bit easier to factor after you take out that GCF. So 2w squared minus 9w minus 5. Okay, you're looking for numbers that multiply. I'm going to have to do this up here. Multiply to negative 10 and add to get to negative 9. Now you just did the factors of 10, so hopefully they're still fresh in your mind. It's 1 and 10, and then we have to have the 10 negative. Okay? All right, I haven't factored with you in a little bit, so we will factor this together. 10w squared minus plus 1w minus 10w minus 5. The first group I can factor out a w. In the second group, I can factor out a negative 5. So the w comes out front, and we're left with 2w plus 1. And then the negative 5 comes out front, and when you divide that, we're left with 2w plus 1. So they match. So we know that we did it right. We have 2w plus 1 and w minus 5. And that is what we bring over here. So we still have the 0 equals 5, parentheses 2w plus 1 and w minus 5. And then you guys are going to solve these by yourself. Good luck. Yeah, that one was easy. And here you subtract the 1 and divide by 2. Okay? So we get negative 1/2 and 5 as our answers. Okay? Now, number 8, you are all on your own. Okay? I'm going to show you steps along the way, but pause it right now and good luck. Okay, I moved the 5m squared and the 12m. We got 15m squared plus 3m minus 18, and then I factored out a3. Okay, so now you guys need to do all the side work and factor the 5m squared plus 1m minus 6. Good luck. Okay, so the numbers that multiply to get to negative 30 and add to 1 are negative 5 and 6. And you can see all my factoring on the right side, and I got m minus 1 and 5m plus 6. And the final step is to set everything with the variable equal to 0. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and you should have gotten m equals negative 6 over 5 and 1. Okay, well that's it for 4.4. Now your homework is 4.4 practice C. Remember to factor completely. 1 through 6 you're just factoring, and then 7 through 10 you're solving. How do I know that you're solving? There's an equal sign. Okay. All right, that's it for Algebra 2, Unit 4.4 Extra Practice. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.